Hi guys, it's Deck Kitten here, and today I'm going to be showing you my Fluffal deck profile for post-trials of the Duelist. It is Phantom Rage has been released, but obviously there's no new cards which benefit this archetype. So this is just using cards from Rise of the Duelist and before. So let's get into the deck profile. Okay, so we'll start off with the main deck. Right. Monsters. First of all, we play 3 copies of Fluffal Dog. This is one of your 2 good normal summons for the deck. When it's normal special summoned from the hand, you get to add an Edge Imp Sabers or a Fluffal monster from your deck to your hand, except Fluffal Dog, and it's a hard once per turn. So you can normal summon this, grab another Fluffal monster, or an Edge Imp Sabers if you need it for your specific fusion monsters, which you list the card. And it's just a very good normal summon. It's a searcher for most of the cards in the archetype, and you want to play 3 of it in almost every Fluffal deck. Alright, so 3 there. Next off, we play 3 copies of Fluffal Penguin. This is the deck's other normal summon. Now, what this card does, during your main phase, you can special summon a Fluffal from your hand, except Fluffal Penguin. It can only be used once while this card is face up on the field, and then if it's sent to the graveyard as fusion material for a fusion summon of Frightfur, you can draw 2, discard 1. You can only use each effect of Fluffal Penguin once per turn. So, basically, the way this card works is you normal summon it, and then normal summon another level 4 to make a rank 4 monster, like, for example, Abyss Dweller. So summon another level 4 Fluffal to make Abyss Dweller, or what you usually want to do is summon either a Fluffal Penguin, summon a Fluffal Dolphin from your hand, and then you can use that to make Behemoth Shark and go into Totally Awesome, which is extremely easy for the Fluffal deck to do. Right, next off we're playing 2 copies of Fluffal Dolphin. So this card is what you want to summon off the Fluffal Penguin, so you can make Behemoth Shark and go into Totally Awesome. It also has a decent effect, so on the field you can target a toy vendor in your graveyard, set it, and if you do, send a Fluffal or Edge Imp Sabers from deck to grave. So obviously, because the toy vendor is a continuous spell, you can activate it the turn you set the card, and then also dumps the Fluffal, like Fluffal Wings, so you can banish it from your graveyard and another Fluffal, and then draw a lot of cards and search a lot. And then also, if it's sent to graveyard's fusion material for a fusion summon, not for a fusion summon Frightfur, just any fusion summon, you can shuffle back into the deck one of your fusion spells or polymerization that's banished or in your grave. You can only use each one per turn. So good 2 of, obviously you can search it with stuff like Foolish Barrel Goods, sending Toy Vendor, so you mainly just want to start off Penguin, normal summon that, and then get your combo going from there. Or alternatively, Fluffal Dog, searching a Fluffal monster and go combo. Next, 3 copies of Fluffal Bear. You can send it from your hand to the graveyard, set a toy vendor from your deck to your spell and trap zone, which can be activated the turn you set it because it's a continuous spell. And then as the main effect, the second effect, tribute it, target a poly in your grave, add it to your hand. And you can only use 1 Fluffal Bear effect per turn. So you play 3 because you discard it to grab a toy vendor. And that's basically like playing 6 copies of the card in the deck. Not quite, but also it's just very versatile. If you have a Fluffal Bear and a Fluffal Wings, you can go, if you have those 2 cards, you can go plus a lot of cards, because that gets toy vendor and you discard. So you play 3 of this because it's a toy vendor. 2 Fluffal Wings, it's sort of a brick if you draw both of the multiple copies. You need it to be in the deck so you can dump it with Dolphin. Or you want to have it in your hand and have Bear in your hand, or a way to search it. So 2 copies. And what its effect says is, if it's in your graveyard and you control Toy Vendor, you can banish it from your graveyard, then target a Fluffal in your graveyard, banish it. If you draw a card, then send a Toy Vendor you control to the graveyard and draw a card. And Toy Vendor also has an effect when it's sent to graveyard. And then for the one-ofs, for the Fluffal monsters, we play 1 Fluffal Cat, adds back the poly when it's used a fusion summon, 1 Fluffal Sheep, special summon it from your hand. It's good for going into a link to if you have Fluffal Dog. And then also you can bounce another Fluffal monster you control to your hand, special summon an Edge Imp from your hand or graveyard. It's important for recycling some of your key Edge Imps like Edge Imp Sabers, which some monsters require. And then 1 copy Fluffal Owl. Basically, when it's normal special summon from the hand, you search Poly and pay 500 life points to fusion summon a Frightfur from extra deck using monsters from hand or field fusion material. And you can only use 1 Fluffal effect per turn, Fluffal Owl effect per turn. So it's good for getting around to effects similar to Imperial Order, but it also searches Poly. If you are able to search this out and have a normal summon, you can grab Polymerization if you don't have it already. So that's the Fluffal monsters. Next we move on to the Edge Imp monsters. So I'll move those Fluffals there. And we'll grab Edge Imp first. Edge Imp Scythe, a new card which was added in Rise of the Duelist, 3 copies of it. It's basically a hand trap fusion summon for Fluffals. During your opponent's main phase quick effect, you can reveal it in your hand and then fusion a Fright Fur from your extra deck using monsters from your hand and field, fusion material including list card. So it can't summon the ones which require Edge Imp Sabers, but it can summon any of the generic ones like a Kraken or Fright Fur, Cruel Whale or something like that. And then also for Fright Fur fusion monster you control would be destroy a battle or card effect, you can banish it from your grave instead, which is useful. So that's useful because one of the fusion monsters, Fright Fur, Cruel Whale, has an effect. If it's fusion summon, you can destroy one card on both phase fields. You can summon this, destroy on your opponent's turn, destroy targeting this effect, and then this effect target itself and your opponent's card, and then you can banish this to protect it. So you just get to destroy one of your opponent's cards and have a 2600 attack monster which can boost its attack by up to another 1300. 3 Edge Imp Chain, another Edge Imp, when it declares an attack you get to search another copy itself, not useful. If it's sent from a hand or field to the graveyard, you can add a Fright Fur card from your deck to your hand, very useful. You can discard it for Toy Vendor, so you get to draw and then you get to search for a Fright Fur card, and there are 3 good Fright Fur cards within our deck which we can search. You can only use the 1 Edge Imp Chain effect per turn. And finally 1 copy of Edge Imp Sabers. Its effect, put a card from your hand on top of the deck, special summon defense position from the graveyard. We only really play it, it's a one-off because some of the cards search out specifically this card. We only play it because some of the fusion monsters require Edge Imp Sabers. So there's our Edge Imp monsters, and then we play 6 hand traps. So we play 3 copies of Effect Veiler, and then 3 copies of Ash Blossom, because usually you're going to want to go second in Fluffals, so hand traps are extremely important for being able to not let your opponent make too large of a combo board, or not let a combo off and just take away the game. Moving on to spells, 3 Toy Vendor, continuous spell, main card and the Fluffal main spell. Once per turn, discard a card, draw a card and show if it's a Fluffal, special a monster from your hand, not necessarily the one you revealed. Otherwise, discard the card you drew. And then if it's sent to the graveyard, you can add an Edge Imp Sabers or a Fluffal monster from deck to your hand. So none of this is hard once per turn, which is extremely powerful. The discard and draw soft once per turn, and then if it's sent, obviously you just get to search. So nothing's once per turn about this card. That's why it's so powerful. You can send multiple copies of it per turn, draw lots of cards, search lots of cards, so on. 3 Foolish Barrel Goods, send the Toy Vendor. 3 Fright Fur Patchwork. This is a very useful card. It's one of the 3 Fright Fur cards we play, and it's the only one we play more than 1 copies of. What it does is it says add an Edge Imp and a Polymerization from deck to hand. You can only activate 1 of this per turn. So basically, with the 3 Polymerization we're already playing, your account is playing 6 copies of this card, basically. 6 copies of Polymerization. It also searches any Edge Imp, so if you want Edge Imp Chain to discard to Toy Vendor, you can grab that as well. 3 Polymerization, 1 Fright Fur Fusion, and 1 Fright Fur Repair. So Fright Fur Fusion is basically fusion summon a Fright Fur by banishing fusion monsters from your field or graveyard, fusion materials. And then Fright Fur Repair is a new card from Rise of the Duelist as well. And it says target a Fright Fur monster in your graveyard, return it to the extra deck, and then special a Fluffal or Edge Imp from your graveyard. And then you can also banish it from your graveyard to special a Fluffal or Edge Imp from your hand, but you can only use 1 of its effects per turn. So very useful cards in a specific niche situation. That's why we play 1 of them, because they're extremely easily searchable with cards like Edge Imp Chain. Alright, moving on to the extra deck. Starting off with the Fright Fur monsters, 3 copies of Fright Fur Cruel Whale. It's a new monster from Rise of the Duelist, level 9, which is important because with level 9 monster you can, two of these you can make VFD, which just locks your opponent out of playing pretty much. And what it does, an Edge Imp and a Fluffal. If it's fusion summoned, you can destroy a card on both players' fields. Once per turn, you can target a fusion monster you control, send a Fright Fur card from your deck or extract to the graveyard. If you do, the target monster gains attack equal to half of its, which is the card you sent, original attack until the end of this turn. So it can boost its own attack and it can destroy your opponent's monsters. It's able to be summoned with the new Edge Imp from Rise of the Duelist, Edge Imp Scythe, on your opponent's turn, and then can be banished to protect itself. And it boosts attack up to 3900 because this is the highest attack Fright Fur fusion monster which is played. Level 9 for making VFD, so play 3 of those. It's great. Alright. Let's go to symbol one-ofs. One Fright Fur Tiger. Edgem Sabers one or more Fluffals on summon. Target cards on the field up to the number of fusion materials, destroy them, and all Fright Furs gain 300 attack for each Fluffal and Fright Fur and control one. Good for popping some of your opponent's niche cards. Fright Fur Wolf. Attack a lot, used for the OTK with Fright Fur Fusion in a pinch. If you need to, or if OTKing is viable. Usually it's not summoned, but we play one just in case. Right, 2 Sabertooth. So what this card does, fusion, 1 Fright Fur Fusion monster and 1 or more Fluffal Edgeimps on summon. Target a fusion monster in your graveyard, special summon it, or Fright Furs you control gain 400 attack, and if it was fusion summoned using 3 or more fusion materials, it can't be destroyed. So good boss monster. Summon a Fright Fur, summon this one, summon that back, maybe use its effect to like Kraken to target a monster and control and send it. Speaking of which, 2 Fright Fur Kraken, 1 or 2 works, but I prefer to play 2 because it's a very powerful card. 1 Edgeimp, 1 Fluffal. Once per turn, target a monster your opponent controls, send it to the graveyard, but this can't attack directly during the turn the effect is activated. It can make a second attack, and at the end of the battle phase of a battle, you can change defense position. So basically, you can, it does not destroy, it sends the monster. It can attack twice to kill your monsters, and if it's not hard once per turn, so you can use its effect to send, summon Sabertooth with it, bring it out again, and use its effect to send, and then kill 2 more of your opponent's monsters by battle. There's the fusion monsters. Exceeds monsters. 1 Behemoth Shark, 1 Totally Awesome. Already looked at that. 1 VFD because it can be very easily summoned with Fright Fur Cruel Whale, and it's just an extremely powerful card. And then 1 Abyss Dweller as a generic rank 4 in case your opponent is playing that kind of deck. And 2 Link monsters. Cross Sheep can be used to summon back some of your materials for another fusion summon if you have the resources in hand. It just lets you extend more. And then 1 Appaloosa for some negates. Alright, a few suggestions for the side deck. Some monsters I recommend running. You can run Gameciel, the Sea Turtle Kaiju. It's a powerful card in Fluffals because they have the ability to easily destroy this card without having to spend much effort to do it, since they have lots of destruction effects, lots of monster send effects, and their attack's usually higher than 2200. Also, Kaijus are just extremely powerful. Nibiru is also another thought. You're usually going to go second, so it's good for stopping your opponent from setting up a large board. Cosmic Cyclone, because you can use it to out problematic spell or traps. You need to play this anyway, otherwise you'll just lose to Mystic Mine. Evenly matched, you're going second, this is the card for going second. And you could also play Infinite Impermanence or Dark Ruler No More or Solemn Strike. I don't happen to have any of the other 2 cards, so I just put this in here. But this is if you're forced to go first, you can at least use it to interrupt your opponent's plays. Alright, thanks for watching this Fluffal deck profile post Rise of the Duelist. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Bye.